The No Nonsense Roundtable, a weekly radio show and podcast where host Dom Geneva interviews guests from all walks of life, all with amazing stories to tell. And now, here's your host, Dom Geneva.
Well, welcome everybody to another edition of your No Nonsense Roundtable. I'm Dom Geneva, your host, every Saturday right here on WISL WLEA. And like I like to remind you all the time, all the previous shows are on NoNonsenseRoundtable.com. And at this point, because we've been on the air since 2019, there's about 350 shows for you to choose from. And some people are famous. We have people that have gotten Grammys and Emmys and famous people like the mayor and such. And we have people that maybe a lot of people know that maybe not everybody knows. And that's one of the joys I have of having this show is that I can have on the show people that I think that you need to know about, or they have different organizations or hobbies or whatever that you might be interested in. And that's why I do this, to put a light on some people that have really kind of cool things to talk about. And the last show I had was with Maury Silver and Dan Mason from the Rochester Red Wings. And the way I put it is that some people get it. You either get it or you don't get it. And you don't have to tell anybody how to treat somebody. They just sort of instinctively know how to treat somebody, maybe, and they know how to provide a good product, and they know how to be contributors to Rochester. And I have one of those people on the show right now, and her name is Susan Reuter. So welcome to the No Nonsense Roundtable.
Thank you. I love being here.
Well, the thing is that you have such a great story over a number of different things. You're chairman of the Visitors Industry Council, which is a big organization which really does a lot of good for Rochester. You have your own business, the Flight Wine Bar, which is really kind of cool. And we're going to talk a lot about that. And you're a mom and like I said, entrepreneur. And from talking to you a little bit before the show, I mean, I can tell you get it. You really get it. So let me
ask you a question. To get
it. Trying to get. Well, one of the things I liked asking people is, what did you want to do when you were 10 years old? I get really interesting stories from this.
Oh, that's funny. So in high school, they ask you at 17 what you want to be and go to college. Mm-hmm. And I had no idea. So I always joked I wanted to be a housewife. And then when I became a housewife, I was joking again and said I meant trophy wife. But I did love being able to stay home and raise my kids in a small community and know all their friends. Yeah. And just through luck, I think I've had all the hospitality jobs, which led me to buying Flight Wine Bar, and took all that knowledge and wrapped it into owning my own business.
Well, you're hitting on something that is really important. You're talking about hospitality, because hospitality is it's a big difference between hospitality and customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction, I put it this way, and this is why I think you and I are kind of cut from the same cloth, is that nobody wants completely satisfied. That's not good enough. I mean, completely satisfied. I mean, nobody goes to the altar and says, will you be completely satisfied with your husband, George, for the rest of your life? No, it's love. You're going for love. You're going for a connection. And from seeing what you do with your wine bar, it seems like you subscribe to that too.
Yes. I love being a wine bar. Flight is now the oldest wine bar in Rochester. But in 3 years, we've branched into hosting jazz music, working with not-for-profits and doing fundraisers. We have you coming April 2nd to do a lecture on your book, and just any excuse to have a party. And I think that gives the customers reasons to keep coming back.
Well, the thing is that you're providing an experience. I said this, I say this all the time about the Red Wings. The Red Wings, their product is entertaining and engaging you. That happens to be at a ballpark. Right? I mean, it happens to be at the ballpark, and once you go there, and we're going to talk a little bit about this later. Once you go there, you have a tendency of going back because you've had such a great experience. Now, the
Right.
one thing I've noticed about your wine bar from going on and seeing what you do is that these aren't like $150 bottles of wine. I mean, you have no $1,000 bottles of wine there. I mean, this
Yeah.
is like for this is like regular people stuff, which I like.
Right.
I like the idea that you can go there and the idea you were talking about before was a flight and sampling people sampling things because one of the things that I see is that I don't want to go out and buy a bottle of wine and then taste it and then I don't like it. I mean, now it's a waste of money, right?
True. Yeah, the flights are wonderful. I always feel like people who walk in and know what they want to drink, they order it. You
Hmm.
order your Chardonnay, your Pinot Grigio, your Cab Sauvignon. People who do flights are being adventurous. They want to try new things. They want to find their next favorite wine, or we have a lot of wines nobody's heard of, which makes it extra fun. And we always encourage people, even if you're just buying a glass, try it first. Make sure you love it before you buy a glass you don't like.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I mean, somebody, it's like somebody recommended a scotch to me. He says, "Oh, you should go buy a bottle of scotch." Well, it's $95. Like not just gonna buy this. Oh, it's expensive. It must be good. Um, now, what is your experience with people that come to the wine bar? I mean, generally speaking, what's the age categories? When do they come? I know you have musical entertainment there,
Yes.
which is really really important. And of course, you graciously invited me to do this lecture presentation, and we'll get into that a little bit more in the future, like I said. But what we're doing is a fundraiser for the Rochester Rotary Sunshine Camp, and we're charging well with Sue's help, we're charging $20 a ticket, and that includes the book.
Yes.
It includes a glass of bubbly,
Mhm.
and you're just gonna have to put up with my lecture.
That'll be the fun part.
Yeah, it is so fun. There's so much crazy stuff, and nobody likes buying a car. Nobody likes buying a car. Just and I can I get it. So, but let's talk about some of the entertainment you have.
Oh, wow. So through my past jobs, I've met tons of musicians. And Rochester, as we were talking about before, we're so lucky. We forget we have legends, just
Hmm.
playing every weekend in the Rochester area. I wanted to focus on jazz. Jazz and wine have always gone together beautifully.
Hmm.
So every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 to 8:30, we host live jazz. Again, some are brand new, 22-year-old Eastman students, and some are legends that
Yeah.
we've had in our area forever. The musicians I work with are just amazing. I'm always so grateful and thankful. No divas. They're easy to work with. They love being there. Sometimes they bring
Hmm.
up an extra person to come who will sing with them, and they all have their own following and their own strengths,
Hmm.
which we are lucky enough to get to host.
Well, I established, and anybody who's listening to the program, if you would be kind enough to go on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, I started a group. It's sort of like the Bills Mafia. It's the Rochester Music Mafia, and it's supposed to do good things for people. But my whole idea with this group, it's a private group. It's not everybody can get in this. I mean, if you want to sell, if you want to sell, ED drugs or something like that, we're not taking a commercial, okay? But the deal is that there is this wonderful culture of guys and gals that are performing in and around Rochester that
Mhm.
may never be recognized by the Rochester Music Hall of Fame, let's say, or any national. They may not get a Grammy, I mean, but working groups and performers that are doing it for the love of it. And I just lost the best friend I had. I tell you, I say this all the time that. I wasn't his best friend because he was around for like 80 years in Rochester, but Chuck Mercado was my very best friend. And Chuck would say to me, he says, I don't care if I'm playing in front of 2 people or 20,000 people. He says, my job is to make them happy.
Hmm.
That's my job. And there's so many musicians that we have in Rochester. They're doing this craft of music, and their own stuff, or they're doing cover, or like you're saying, they're playing background for you at your establishment, and it's just a wonderful thing. Really
Yeah,
is.
it is. And we have regulars, and they, we always suggest reservations. I only have
Hmm.
37 chairs inside. So in the winter months, we get full. We have to sadly turn some people away. But in the summer, when the patio's open, it's
Hmm.
unlimited. We never have
Oh
that
yeah,
problem
yeah,
in the summer. We fill up
yeah,
both inside and outside, rotate tables. It's great. But same, the musicians just love playing.
yeah. Well, and the thing is, I mean, it sounds like a great place to bring a date. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. We get a
yeah, I
lot of
mean that's
first
that's the
dates.
thing. I mean, I mean, when I met Nita, we went because it was basically a blind date. We went across the road to a little place, sort of like yours, and we sat and we talked for like an hour and a half because we could talk for an hour and a half
Right.
because it wasn't so blaring that you couldn't carry on the conversation. Now, one of the things I noticed about is you're working your tail off. I mean, when I'll call Susan. And she, wait a minute, I got to get this 2 glasses of wine for the table number 7. It's like it's like Mayberry or something. The mayor, the mayor is the
I
justice of the peace, is the cop, and I mean, you're doing everything, aren't you?
Yes, I am a hands-on owner. But we were talking earlier, I love it. It's
Yeah.
the one job you can have or business you can own. Your friends can come up, your kids can come up, you meet new friends every day. If I'm not on the schedule, I'm typically still there. So that if my Wednesday night staff has a busy night, unexpectedly, I can be there to jump in and help out. And a lot of times they kick me out. Once they get caught up, they're like, okay, go sit down with your friends, go have a glass of wine. I'm like, are you sure I'll do the dishes?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no job there that we're all not doing all the time. I'm taking out the garbage. My staff takes out the
Yeah,
garbage.
I know.
It's one big
I know.
family.
I know. I know the film when we first started out, like unplugging the toilets and the stuff. Yeah, that's what you have to do. You're an entrepreneur. I mean, there's nobody else to do that stuff. So, but I can tell from the look in your eyes, and this is why I'm so glad that this is not only a radio show, but we have this as a Zoom now. But the light in your eyes, you just found your place. God gave you your place, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Well, and we also, sorry, we were talking before, neither of us would be here without our spouses. Our
Oh
spouses
yeah.
are our biggest
Yeah.
cheerleaders.
Yeah.
My husband, if I'm having a bad day, he reminds me how great we're doing. And, if I have 15 errands to run, he'll do 5 of them for me.
Yeah. Well, the way I word it is, you look in the eyes of your children and they're supposed to be here.
Yes.
So if you did anything, even if it's an adopted child or whatever, I mean, that person is supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And if you do that, if you subscribe to that, your life is wonderful. The other thing is the laugh of a 6 month old. I mean, I was playing with my grandson the other day, and I'm tickling him, and he's laughing, and I mean, there's no more joyful. That's why we were talking before the show. I have a pool here, and there's nothing more joyful than hearing a bunch of kids in a pool screaming. Uh, it's really funny because we did have a neighbor who complained about the noise uh, at a different, not here or someplace else, and it's like, are you nuts? I mean, that's joy. That's
Yeah.
joy. That's joy. So let's talk a little bit about your other quote unquote job, which really isn't a job. You volunteer for the Visitors Industry Council, and you
Yeah.
are the chair. And let's talk about
Yes.
that a little bit because you guys do. I'm a member there, but you guys
Mhm.
do a lot to support the culture of Rochester.
Yeah. So Visit Rochester is a networking tourism group. They work
Hmm.
really hard to bring groups and visitors to Rochester. And then when you get here, they highlight everything there is to do. I was born and
Hmm.
raised in Rochester. I love it. There's a million things going on every day. You can't get to all of it. Um, and then the Visitor Industry Council is the member part of that. So I believe
Hmm.
there's way over 500 members at this point. We get usually we average 150 a meeting, our monthly meetings. So this year I am lucky enough to be the chair. I get to meet more amazing people. Like I love networking, so this is just
Hmm.
exploding my networking circles. And I mean, even before I became chair, those meetings, you know what's going on before most
Hmm.
people do. You know what new projects are coming, what new parks, you know what groups are coming to visit Rochester, when they're coming. So it's a wealth of information. We love it.
Well, and the presentations, affairs, whatever you want to call them, the meetings that you have once a month. Talk about that because you start them at 3 o'clock.
Yep. Third Tuesday of the month, 3 o'clock, different venues. The venues are always other members, but also have to be big enough now to hold 150 people.
Hmm.
And there's a small agenda that never changes. Like the staff does their updates on what
Hmm.
conventions are coming to Rochester, how many hotel rooms booked through that convention, how many restaurants benefited. Then we have the committees. So two
Hmm.
of the committees that I'm on that I love, one is called Rock for a Reason, and we figure out ways to give back.
Hmm.
So last year I remember we did a dinner for the Ronald McDonald House. So
Ah.
people who were staying there, and then it goes in the fridge, and people who are staying there can just help themselves whenever they want. We do a big fundraiser every year to benefit one or more charities. I think last year was Homestead for Hope out in
Hmm.
Spenceport. It was a big guest bartending happy hour event at Rabbit Hole Tavern, and any money raised through prizes and raffles went to Homestead for Hope. So that's one committee. Another committee is the Membership Engagement Committee, where we figure out fun new ways to visit other members. So maybe you're way too small to have a meeting or, a committee meeting, but, we can, like, for example, bar hop on Park Ave and
Hmm.
visit all the members, something like that.
Well, something I want to inject on this too is that the meeting starts at 3.
Yes.
It ends promptly at 5. And then uh if you have a business or you have something to promote, they let you get up just before the end of the meeting to give like a 30-second presentation of what you have going on. So
Yeah.
you can, like with me, with my book, you can go, you have a book or you have an affair that's going on, you want to raise tickets for or whatever, you can get up. So everybody lines up and they do that. And then after that, you have a very affordable cocktail party there. You got to pay for your own drinks, but the hors d'oeuvres are free. And people who heard something during during the presentation can network and talk a little bit more about it and exchange business cards and whatever, which is
Mhm.
it's great. And the other thing I like about it, it's regular. It's not like it is a regular occurrence every month, so you know that it's coming up, and it's not that long, and it gets you away from the office for a little bit in a productive way. So anybody that wants to join or know more about that, what's the website for that?
Would be Visit Rochester has their own website, and there's a
Hmm.
whole link for membership. But the networking part that you talked about, it is huge. I
Hmm.
mean, and as a business owner, like I'm sure you've met Bobby Padilla from Rock Paint
Hmm.
Sip. He does painting events at my bar.
Hmm.
Rivery Tourism Boat is across the driveway from me. We do wine tastings on the boats, and now we're working on micro wedding packages together. So
Hmm.
there's just, Rabbit Hole Tavern is in Cornhill Plaza where Flight Wine Bar is. If he's full, he sends people my way. If I'm full, I send people his way.
Yeah.
So the networking is huge, and it all leads to friendships at the end too. Lots of friendships.
Well, and the thing about music is that there's music that are uh, it's about the musicians most naturally, but sometimes it's about the venue. It's like your
Mhm.
venue. It's like this place in Lima that I'm very fond of, Fanatics Pub in
I
Lima.
love Fanatics. We
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, and the people that he gets, and you can go see somebody with my famous one, or the one that I'm really proud of, and I got to bond with the fellow is Bobby Rush, 83 years old, 3 Grammys, and he's coming over my house for lunch because he was playing over there in between the 2 days. I
Yeah.
mean, he gets people down there that during the week that really great, but the thing is to put a spotlight on places like that and places like yours
Yeah.
that people may not have necessarily had on their selector list. So let's do a little bit of retail here and talk about what we have going on April 2nd. Well, I went into business in 1994, and I didn't want them to give me my dealer code on the next day, which would have been April 1st, because I never wanted that. I never wanted that to happen. So I officially went to business on April 2nd, 1994. So this is a good day for me. This is a good day for me. But we're going to be doing a fundraiser. That's why I don't do this professionally. It's a fundraiser,
It's fun.
a fundraiser. I was, what does that look like, a fundraiser? But we are going to do a fundraiser for the Rochester Rotary Sunshine Camp. Our mutual friend, Mr. Don Alhart, is going to
Yeah.
be there to kick off the event for a $20 donation to the Rochester Rotary Sunshine Camp. It all goes to the Sunshine Camp. You will get a glass of bubbly, which is courtesy of Sue, and you will get a book, which is a courtesy of me. The lecture is more like a performance. I mean, there's so many strange. I shared with Susan some of the kinky stories, and you'll hear about these things. It's more like a performance than it is like a lecture, because nobody likes buying a car, you know. I mean, nobody, God bless them. I love car salespeople, but nobody. When I ask, and I have yet to ask somebody what they wanted to do when they were 10 years old, say I want to be a car salesman. I mean, it's just not on the selector list. Okay, it's a great job. It's a great
Right.
steady job. You make some good money, but the thing is that there's some very strange things. And the other thing is that when you go to buy a car, I word it like this: it's not only that the cards are stacked against you, you don't know what the game is. You don't even know what the rules are. So we're going to do this. Sue reached out to me, which I really appreciate, and said, "Well, why don't we do?" And then okay, so let's do something less like that. That's really cool. So, thank you for doing that. What else could you say about the?
Well, the ticket link, if you go to Flight Wine Bar's Facebook, there's an event with the ticket link. If you go to
Mhm.
our website on April 2nd, there's a brief write up with the ticket link there. And then, like you said, you're going to walk away. You're going to have a glass of bubbly at the bar,
Mhm.
Italian, sparkling, amazing. And then they're going to walk away with your book, and we're donating the ticket sales to the Sunshine Camp.
And I'll do something for my radio show listeners. If you're a member of my Facebook group, the Rochester Music Mafia, if you send me a note today saying that you signed up for a ticket, you bought a ticket, and Sue will have that list, and message me on rochestermusicmafia.com, and if you, the first 10 guys, gals, whatever, I will give you a coupon for another glass of bubbly. I'll
It's
contribute
amazing.
a little bit, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's not the be all and end all of the world, but let's see if we can't get a little fast start on this thing.
Or a
So
wine bar. People are going to want a glass of wine.
that's right. Yeah, bubbly, whatever. Changing the subject a little bit. These proseccos are really good.
God, they are. They really are. I have flights on the menu, like we
Hmm.
said, for fun, adventurous people, and some have themes. So I have a women-owned flight, which this
Ah.
Prosecco is women-owned by actress Issa Rae. It's called Via Rae Prosecco. And then I work closely with the project In This Moment, which features Black local leaders and authors and
Hmm.
photographers and artists. And so I have an In This Moment flight, and that is all Black owned wineries. And this Prosecco fits both check boxes.
Yeah, yeah, and you can get I love Yiddish words. You can get a little bit of a nosh too, right?
Oh yeah, we have small plates. So cheeses, meats, dips, flavored oils, trying to think, popcorn. I try to work with as much local as I can. So Tony's
Hmm.
popcorn is a Chicago mix because he's from Chicago. He loved it. It sells like crazy. F. Oliver's flavored oils over on Park
Oh,
Ave and in
yeah.
Canandaigua.
Hmm.
We have gluten free, we have vegan, we have all the things for everybody. So And I'm half Italian, so they're generous portions. Nobody leaves hungry.
Isn't that the truth? You go to an Irish bar or an Italian, you get served very well. So how close is this to Cheers? I mean, is
Well, last night it felt like it. That's actually funny. I was away for 2 weeks on vacation,
uh-huh.
and I was back for the weekend, but we were just slammed. And yesterday, I think I put on Facebook, "Hey, we're back. Come and see us tonight." And 9 out of 10 people that walked in the door were good friends of ours that came in to say hi.
Norm.
So that one table that I didn't know, they're watching me hug and kiss everybody. Cheers. We
So,
cheersed about 10 times last night.
so what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to bring over my brand of Vera,
There
which
you
is Nita.
go.
Yeah, yeah, because you haven't met somebody.
I
Somebody
haven't. I would love to.
No, somebody accused me once of not actually having a wife because nobody knows that Nita's married to me. Um, so my own personal Vera. Um, so
Well, it's funny because you talked about how you met her and
oh yeah, yeah.
had a nice date. In 3 years that I've owned the bar, the
Uh-huh.
flight is 15 years old. We're the oldest wine bar in Rochester. I've owned
Mhm.
it three. I've had two engagements, two wedding receptions, tons of bridal showers, tons of baby showers. But I just thought the two engagements, like that just makes me happy that they picked Flight Wine Bar for that special moment.
Well, and then you don't know how many people that actually had their first date there that might have
Yeah,
got married and they have kids and everything. I mean, you just don't
yeah,
know. Again, getting back to the thing about being younger and dating and stuff like that. I mean, you need some place to go. I mean, yeah, you go out to dinner or whatever, but having a glass of wine is, and especially with a little entertainment. Give me a couple of your favorite entertainers and what they do, what their
Oh,
instruments are.
I'll probably get in trouble.
No,
I'll start
you're
with
gonna
Mel
get in trouble. No
Henderson.
matter
I've
no matter
been
what you do, when
friends.
you make it when you make an opinion these days about anything, you get in trouble. So,
But Mel Henderson is in the top because we've
mhm,
just been friends for a
mhm.
good 10 years. In fact, me and my husband are going to their house for dinner this Sunday.
Oh, wonderful.
So his wife is German, my husband's German. They get to talk German to each other. Me and Mel get to hang. Um, and
Oh yeah.
he's easy. He's so easy to work with. He
Mhm.
helped me set up. We used to have a giant speaker that plugged in outside. So if you sat on the patio, and then
Mm.
instead of that, we have a Bluetooth microphone now that plays the
Oh
music
yeah.
outside. But he helped me with all that. He held my hand the whole way so I could get good music. And sometimes if a new musician reaches out to me, I'll ask Mel, like, hey, what do you know? Good guy, bad
Mm.
guy, what will it fit?
And what does
Um,
he play?
Mel is guitar, but he's in a bigger band called Paradigm Shift.
Hmm.
Three different musicians. They tour all over Europe, and that's where you don't realize what we have here. Here
Hmm.
we have this
Yeah.
this band that sells out in Europe, and he just likes to him and the guys just play on their own for fun on weekends.
Yeah.
Bob Schneider is huge.
Oh
Bob's
yeah.
son Ben sometimes comes in
Yeah,
and
he's a good
plays with
friend.
him. Bob brings in a lot of fun people. We trying to think of who else we have had. Mike Coppa, Annie
Hmm.
Wells.
Have you had Jimmy Highsmith in yet?
Not at this one. Jimmy's usually like in a three-piece band, and I can only fit solos and duos. But the old wine bar I used to work at Pittsford, Jimmy was a regular, and Jimmy's just a great person. He's a
Yeah, Jimmy's a
sweetheart.
great person. Jimmy comes by now with his own like karaoke machine. So it's him
Oh,
and
fun.
I saw him at like the Holiday Inn in Victor or whatever. I have to reach out to him because he's really great. There's a guy that should be in the Rochester Music Hall of Fame. I mean,
Right.
he's really great. He was playing for the mayor's not inaugural, but his yearly gala last year, and he was playing for the mayor. It was him, and
Oh,
he has his boombox
yeah.
and his sax, and he is really, really good. Plus, a great guy.
He is. He's a sweetheart. His wife's a sweetheart. I remember seeing him at
Lou, yeah,
Webster Park one summer, and their granddaughter is just dancing and twirling
yeah, yeah,
around.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm like, she was raised
yeah.
with music. You can
Yeah.
tell. She no fear. She just went out and danced in the middle of the park.
Well, the funny thing about music is that some people, like Chet Cataldo, say, well, his parents gave him little toys when he was a kid, and they were musical toys, and he
Yeah,
played them and he got good at them. And then I think it was Jack Alaco who said he broke his leg. That's how he got interested in music and guitar because he had nothing to do. and it's winter out, and so he had a guitar, and he started playing the guitar because he broke his leg. I think it was Jack Alaco, but people get into music for different reasons. But there's one thing is that when you become an adult, and I know I'm repeating myself, but when you become an adult and you do this for the love of it, you're not doing it for the money. You're really not. So
Right, right.
as you know, as the world turns, that's one of the great things. So we'll go through this again. April 2nd, it's the Flight Wine Bar, which is actually the URL is Wine Bar Flight, right? Isn't or Flight Wine Bar or Wine
It
Bar
is.
Flight?
So I inherited the website.
Yeah. Okay.
I always say it's Flight Wine Bar, Cornhill Landing, because there is a
Okay.
Flight Whiskey Bar out in Greece. So
Yeah.
I always, every now and then, someone gets confused and goes to the wrong spot.
And you've had this for 15 years. I am so sorry we haven't come to see you.
Oh,
We
no,
should
no.
go
The
sometime.
bar's been there 15 years. I've only owned
Oh,
it for
okay.
3.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
the third owner.
Okay, okay. Well, we will see you soon. If nothing more, I'm absolutely going to come with my version of Vera before before April 2nd, and come and see you, and we can have the same nice uh, uh, experience that everybody has when they get there. So, with that, I think we probably are at the point where we have to go on to our next guest. And thank you for coming in. It was delightful to talk to you and meet you, and have you in my studio because
Thank you for having
yeah,
me.
it works. Okay, thanks again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. You can find our previous shows at nononsenseroundtable.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll make more.